So, when I say the year 1984, your mind probably jumps straight to George Orwell, right? But today, we're going to look at the real 1984, a year that was this incredible turning point in history, a year of huge endings and even bigger beginnings, all seen through the eyes of one family. Let's dive in.
And this really brings up a fascinating question, doesn't it? How can one single year hold two completely different realities? You've got this traditional analog world on one side and this brand new digital one on the other, existing side by side, sometimes even under the same roof. So first, to understand the world that was starting to fade, we need to meet someone. Her name is Els Paulsen, and her life is basically a perfect snapshot of the mid-20th century.
Elsa was, the heart of her family. She was this careful, mild-tempered mother to her two sons. She created this wonderfully warm home, and she had this amazing artistic spirit.
This quote from her son, Morten, just cuts right to the chase. It's such a simple sentence, but wow, does it highlight the massive technological gap between her generation and the one that was just around the corner. And this slide, it really makes her world come alive. You can almost hear her playing the violin or taste the berries she would preserve. Her life was so rooted in local traditions and real tangible skills. Think about it, a world with only 4 TV channels. It was just a much smaller, less connected place than what we know today.
Okay, so let's flip the coin. Because at the exact same time Elsa's world was being lived and cherished, a totally new one was being built, literally from the ground up, driven by technology and a completely different way of seeing things. This really shows you the stark contrast, all within a single family. While his mother was preserving food from the local garden, her son was busy building a computer college. Her world was all about violins and orchestras, his was data communication. Her one big trip abroad was to Copenhagen. His work was taking him to New York, Las Vegas, and Silicon Valley. It's more than just different jobs, It's a total shift from being connected to your local garden to being connected to a global network. And this was a key moment. When Erling S. Andersen became the head of the new NKI Computer College, it was a formal beginning. His whole mission was to create a credible, respected school that could train an entire generation for this new digital age. And this date right here was the real game changer, July 3rd. That's when the news came out that students at this new college could get student loans. This was huge. And it wasn't just about the money. It was about legitimacy. It was a signal to everyone that this new kind of education was real and it was here to stay. And as you can see, this wasn't some flash in the pan. That little college started in 1984 just kept growing. It evolved, it merged, and it adapted over decades. Today, its legacy is part of a major educational institution, Campus Christiania. And it all started with that one little seed, planted back in that year of transition. Now, it's really important to remember that these personal stories and tech breakthroughs weren't happening in a bubble. So let's zoom out for a second and see what else was going on in the wider world that year. Man, 1984 was a really tense and packed year. You had major Cold War drama with the Treholt spy affair in Norway. You had the whole world watching 2 different Olympics in Sarajevo and LA. And then you had the shocking assassination of Indira Gandhi. Even something like Norway getting a second national radio channel was a huge deal, a sign that the old media world was starting to break apart. So, when you put all these pieces together, what do you get? Well, you see that 1984 wasn't just one story. It was a year where the past and the future were literally living right next to each other. For the Paulsen family, it was the year they lost their mother, Else, the woman who really embodied that analog world. But it was also the exact same year her son's work, building that digital future, really took flight. It's that collision of personal loss and technological birth that makes 1984 such a powerful symbol. It perfectly captures that moment in time when the tangible, hands-on world of the past started to give way to the abstract, borderless world of the future. It really makes you think, doesn't it? Just like 1984, our world today is absolutely full of these transitions. Some are personal, some are technological, some are global. So the question for all of us is, what worlds do you see quietly ending around you? And what new ones are just starting to take shape right now?